Let me tweet it out before I open this up.
Welcome to Nerd of the Noob, episode 51, introducing our first guest host. Hello!
Hello, everyone.
And this is our special guest. Welcome to the show. My name is Greg.
Hello.
I am Greg of Nerd of the Noob, and as you can tell in the bottom screen, that is not our noob. That is Spencer from the Great Geek Debate, and he is subbing in for us today because the noob decided to go hit the road, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. So this is our first time having a special guest actually co-host with us. We had a couple people on, including our producer, but Spencer is gracious enough to come on and give us his podcasting abilities for an hour or so, or in this case 3 at this point. And so Spencer, tell the folks about yourself.
How you doing, guys? I'm in high school. I'm much younger than the noob, as you can see. I'm on the podcast, as he just said, the Great Geek Debate. We talk about tech, comic books, science, gaming, all that good stuff. I'm a big gamer, relatively new at comic books, and I'm just started watching the Noob maybe 10 episodes ago. And I also have my own YouTube channel and website, Geek Intel. If you guys ever see me, that's also my other alias I go by.
Yes, please go check out his wares.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Is it for you? Did you do anything exceptionally geeky this week? That's how we do the weekend chat explosion here.
Let's see. The only thing actually I think I did that's notable is I watched Oblivion. I got that on Blu-ray.
Was it any good? Because I have friends that would say F Tom Cruise.
Now see, I like Tom Cruise, but I read the Rotten Tomatoes reviews and they were horrible, and it was pretty good. It was very confusing, but it was good.
It was very confusing?
Yeah, I had to look up an explanation thing for part of it.
Here, I'll blow your mind a little bit. The parts in the trailer with Morgan Freeman where you see him, but he's talking, but he's not actually moving. It's just the trailer part. That's not Morgan Freeman.
That's not him, really?
That's not him talking. It's the dude who voices Yoda for Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
But he's in the movie, though.
Yeah, but he didn't do that part.
Oh, that's weird.
They ADR'd it over, and it was pretty cool. Let's see here. What did I do? I finally got to do my Nerd Day. For those of you who've been watching for a long time, I used to do a Nerd Day last year with a bunch of my friends from work, and it includes a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and so I did a lot of that. It was very fun. We are not very far at all. We killed some dragons and stuff, and really just enjoyed ourselves. As I said, our noob has decided to pick a point south on the map and drove down there with his wife this weekend. So yeah, it was. It's been a good week. It was a very long work week, and I'm almost through with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for the anime peoples. So don't ruin it for me, but love it. Love that show.
I should jump on the anime train. I don't.
You should
I really
jump.
don't.
At least
I
on
should.
a little bit of it. My sister watches a lot of weird stuff, but yeah.
The only thing I've watched anime is Halo Legends. That's it. Which I'm not even sure you can consider that anime.
Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so we are going to move into the first box that we have. It is a long box, and I let Spencer basically be our guide for what to talk about. And actually, I saw this first story too, and is this week. Nintendo announced the 2DS.
Oh, man.
And if you don't know what this is, it's basically a 3DS, but it's just a straight...
Without the clamshell.
No clamshell closing. It's just straight 2 screens. And I have a very initial problem with this.
What would that be?
The screens are always open, so you know they're going to sell something like you'll have to get it like a screen cover.
Oh, yeah.
Like they'll get you that, and I'm being reprimanded in our chat, by the way. I'd like to also note that our lovely producer of every week is not here, and Twinkie, who is always in the chat, is producing for me this week. Thank you, good sir. Back to the 2D. Go for it. You said you had a lot on this.
Well, my view for this is that actually, I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm looking at the thing right now, so I keep looking down. But the screens on this, since it is not a clamshell, that's one screen. They just separated it with the little black line. So it is just one screen. So I'm not sure if they did the one screen. I'm not sure why they didn't just go for like a traditional Game Boy Advanced style and just have one screen instead of the two separate ones, and then it would actually maybe be different.
Yeah. I'm looking at the picture here, and doesn't it look like the bottom, which would be traditionally the touch screen? Doesn't it look like it's like cut off on the edges?
Yeah, exactly. It looks smaller than it does on the 3DS.
I mean, they say that this is for kids. It's a cheaper price point.
Yeah, it's an entry-level system, they say.
It plays, because they say that kids shouldn't, like smaller kids shouldn't play the 3DS, like the 3D messes with
the
them.
3D. Yeah, I guess their eyes aren't developed yet, so they really can't see the 3D. That's the same with movies, I think. I don't think kids can get into 3D movies.
Really?
Yeah, there was something about that.
My 6-year-old didn't like that 3D movie that we went to. I have to remember that. But I don't know. I don't know about this, especially because if it doesn't come with a cover, I think that pisses me off.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, because if they drop it or something, I mean,
not everyone's gonna have a carrying case.
Where would you carry this, anyways? Too, it's pretty big.
I know it's huge. Like the whole thing to the DS has always been portability.
Like, yeah, my XL even pushes it. I can't even get it in my pocket sometimes. This is just outrageously huge.
It's ridiculously big. I mean, it's and not to mention it looks weird. Like if you look at it,
it looks very strange.
The D-pad is like middle of it, and then the A and B buttons and stuff.
It's like way up in the top, so you'd have to like
you're like this. I don't know. I might get one for my son simply because it's it's a little bit. If the screens are way more durable, because I've seen a dozen of these cracked. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I think the kids would like this more than we. I guess we're not used to this, so I'm not sure.
I get the chat says it keeps them from breaking the clasp on the clamshell.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's great an idea, but we mentioned this early on before we got the show started. I've been around long enough for the original Game Boy. And I mean that thing was huge. This is bigger than wider. The original Game Boy. I mean it's a massive piece of hardware. I can't imagine it being comfortable to lug around.
I don't know. I think if they put more time into this, it could have been a better design.
Do you think
definitely?
Do you think it's going to be that thing where their parents will buy it for kids?
I think it could be because parents will see this and they don't really know much about, at least a lot of parents don't know much about games, so they probably will see that this is advertised for kids and say, oh, this would be better off getting him this one than opposed to the 3DS or 3DS XL. So it does look like it's for kids because it has that, I don't know, it just has that kind of kid-friendly look to it, and well, it should since that's who it's modeled after. But I could definitely see a lot of kids having these. I hope that they're gonna.
I'm interested to see like button and screen protection. Like that's
a
big problem for me because if I get this for my 6-year-old, he's gonna carry it around the house and everything, and it's gonna bash into stuff.
And with those big bumpers too, those are gonna. If you drop it on the bumper would probably completely break.
Right. So I mean, how much is a carrying case for this gonna cost and stuff like that?
Yeah. Hopefully what they're doing with this, I think they just wanted a cheap build to put out there just as another product, and then maybe they'll put the money into the Wii U, hopefully, since that's also lacking. But
yeah, it is really lacking.
So hopefully that's what this is for.
Okay, let's go with what would you have rather seen then? Let's go with the no clamshell. How would you have rather seen this then?
I probably would have rather saw it, like I said, like a more Game Boy Advance style with only one screen, but then you wouldn't be able to play the 3DS games, or at least not the way because that's what this is supposed to be for, is you can play 3DS games with it. I honestly don't know, they could have gone with smaller screens. I'm not sure why they have to be the same size as the XL screens. They could have been the regular 3DS screens.
Yeah.
So they could have just made the screens smaller, and this would have been a more compact device. So I think they should have went with a little more smaller and thought about the design a little more.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, you get why it's that size. There's not a whole lot of trim around where your D-pad is and your buttons are.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it's a big, and it's meant for kids, like we said. But it's a big piece of hardware,
Yeah, it is.
and a lot of younger kids are going to be playing this thing.
And I think the whole 3D capabilities thing is a lot of people are talking about. If that's a main selling point for it, if it's not even for kids, then I mean the 3DS has the 3D that you can turn off the 3D. So that's not really a big selling point for it either.
Yeah, no. I agree with you completely, but I think that's what they're trying to go with.
Like yeah, that's what they're trying to go for. But I mean, they should have maybe put more thought into durability. I think they would have bought more. More parents would have bought that for their kids. I think if they had focused more on durability, because obviously that's bigger than the 3D complaint. I think it's like.
The price point is really good. I mean, it's...
What is the price point? I haven't even seen that.
$129.99 it looks like.
Okay, so that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Like, I would consider getting one for my son, but I don't know.
I would, as long as they come up with cases, I would go for it.
Yeah?
They'd have to have some sort of case. It can't really be like a regular phone case, a regular 3D case. It can't just go around the edges. You're going to have something in the middle for those screens, too. Since the screens will never be able to be protected.
You're talking like a covers, like a shell.
Like a shell, yeah, exactly. Some sort of shell.
Now, I'm not seeing it. I'm guessing you load the game through the top, too? If you... I'm looking at like a small video.
I would think it would be I would think it would be underneath the label on the bottom, because then the cameras are right there. I don't think you can load it through the cameras.
No, yeah, that's true. Well, I mean... I'm going to go with... Just to end for me, I'm very skeptical on this. I've seen a lot of people be the same way on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very, very curious to see how this actually plays out in the market.
I'm gonna go with they should have put some more thought into the design. Maybe did a little better, and that's pretty much my overall thought of it. Is it should have had it. It looks like it was kind of just thrown out there last minute.
Yeah. I guess they're putting it out in October, so they're not even pushing it for like a Christmas release.
I know. It's just strange. No one saw this coming either.
No, I don't. So, I didn't see anybody seeing it coming.
No.
So, alrighty then. Moving on to our next story, and you read this one thoroughly. I just have comments on it.
Yeah, I read the whole thing. Yeah.
It is what is the possibility of Joss Whedon killing off major character or characters in the Avengers Age of Ultron? So you read the whole thing, so give us a plot thing in there.
Well, basically it's just what the title says. I'll go ahead and read what he said here. He said, I'm always joking about that, maybe, in response to,
question.
The question of killing off one of the Avengers, and it also says, but I'd have to have a really good reason, a really great sequence for Marvel X's to go. Well, cut off potential franchise, that's fine. That's talking about probably a mini-series like the Iron Man series, something like that. And then they know as any good studio does that without some stakes, some real danger, how involved can we get? So I'm just going to... The rest of it's not really relevant to that. So
I agree. So let's put it this way. We knew that an Iron Man 3 was coming out. So let's say Iron Man 3 was not coming out. Like, they hadn't announced it, and we got into the Avengers. During that part where Tony's flying the rocket through the wormhole and it's falling down, how much of your brain at that point would have said, Iron Man could possibly die right here?
Not really a lot, because I ended up seeing the Avengers after I saw Dark Knight Rises, and after seeing that ending where he still survived, I was kind of thinking that, he can't just die like that. I wouldn't really think so. Okay. Just he goes out into space, he doesn't come back down. So I pretty much knew he was going to survive, even though it was already announced. But I can't see them go. I couldn't see them killing him off like that.
I agree with Iron Man, but that was my example for the first one. For the second one, I can actually see him killing Thor. Even though Thor's godlike and whatnot, it's not an unheard thing. Um, our my co-host on chat actually, Michael Noob, is saying kill Cap just to aggravate our producer.
Oh man,
Um,
that would be
but
terrible.
we talked about this. Of the ones that could possibly not have a franchise and not have their own thing to do, there's a great possibility for losing Hawkeye or Black Widow. Like
I can see both of them, either of them going as well. Whether I wouldn't want them to go, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't want them to go either. I mean,
yeah,
especially because there wasn't enough good guy Hawkeye.
Yeah, there wasn't enough. He was basically that bad guy Hawkeye the whole movie, and we really didn't get to see that much of him. And for them to kill him off right when he turns good again, I mean, that'd be kind of...
Yeah, but I mean, still, I kind of agree. One of those things where somebody dies.
I can definitely see Iron Man going because they said that his contract runs out after this.
No, actually they redid it.
Oh, they redid it?
He
really?
got 2 more movies, I think. I could be wrong.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but here's a weird one that just hit me. What about Samuel L. Jackson? They play him off as dead, and then finally give everybody the quote unquote real life model decoys.
I could see that. That would be a cool plot twist.
Kill him off. Like don't and have it be like a big thing. Have him falling off something, or have it no doubt that he hits the ground and and someone dies. He wouldn't. They're yelling at me saying Samuel L. Jackson has a 12 movie contract. He can be in them. That's fine, but you still get that.
Isn't that kind of
character death?
Isn't that kind of what they're doing with the Agent Coulson and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well? Because
he's yet. I don't know because
he's back in that. So I mean, that's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, but I think that's like this is what happened. Like they're going to do a little bit of build up to New York and then after New York.
Okay.
It's what I think they're doing. I don't know. I haven't seen.
Oh, they had announced that the first few episodes are going to be how he actually lived through that event.
Really?
So it comes off right after the Avengers.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I agree with what Whedon says. To give some sense of danger, you've got to, at a minimum, make people think you're willing to do it. That is why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why like The Walking Dead. It's a comic book franchise. That is why I think it is such a good franchise. Game of Thrones does it too. They're willing to just kill anybody.
Yeah, that's part of the suspense of The Walking Dead too. As I'm watching, like you always think someone's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean for real. And then when they finally do kill somebody, it's like 100% what you didn't think it would be.
Yeah, exactly.
So I go back again. So my one of our chat says kill Thor. I kind of, out of all the movie franchises that are out there and everything, I can see it being Thor though.
I could see it as well.
And I like that means that you kind of take you take Tom Hiddleston out as Loki too, and that hurts my feelings because out of every character in the Marvel universe, I think above and beyond, he's been the best thing in those movies. He's great. I mean, so like it makes you realize what Shakespearean style and that really very gravitas that someone can that they can bring to the part is worth.
Yeah.
I just go for it.
I don't. I think if they were to kill off someone, I think it would be a good move to kill off someone because then it could add a more level of suspense for the next couple movies, even the next couple like other movies that come out, like Iron Man 4 if they make that or something like that. And then especially if they end up making an Avengers 3, I think they would give it a lot more suspense for the coming movies as well.
Yeah. Now it does say major character. I don't think it says major hero. It says major character. So
it could be anyone.
It could be any of the other characters because at some point you got to think that maybe the supporting cast will show up. What about Maria Hill? I mean, in comic book terms, she's a major part. She currently runs S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So what if you lose Maria Hill or
I could see Agent Fury going Samuel L. Jackson. I could see that.
I think that would be a really cool way to do it. I have a problem seeing them actually doing. Although I would love to see, and I'm gonna get killed for it. I would love to see like a robot Ultron picking up one of them, like Cap or whatever, by the head and just blasting, and they're done.
That would be, as sad as that would be, that'd be really crazy. And I think that would be one of the ways they do it, probably.
I just like a pure on like he's captured them, and they're all sitting there and they won't believe anything, and amongst the superheroes of them, not Hawkeye and Black Widow, amongst the superheroes, it's him and Tony are the most human.
Right.
So you pick up one or the other. You don't pick up Tony because I think they play off that Tony has something to do with creating Ultron, and at least in some of the books, Ultron doesn't want to kill his creator.
Yeah, I don't think he would go for him.
So that breaks it down to Cap, picks him up by his hand, and everybody jerks up at him like stop, and all of a sudden it's just bam, and then Cap goes limp and he's done, and it's like,
that would be a terrible moment.
I mean, just like don't even play it like it's not this big grand thing or anything like that. It's just done.
Yeah. That would. Oh man.
I'm sorry. As much as I love his Captain America, like I really do.
Yeah.
I've seen some old ones and they're crap. I think that would be a really cool way to see it.
That would be cool.
And
Where would it go after that too, as well? Like where could they take it at?
I mean, it would be straight up hardcore revenge, and it also give them an opportunity to do something that in the movies that they did in the comic books, and for a little while at least give Bucky the shot at the Shield.
Because isn't Winter Soldier, isn't Bucky the main part of that?
Yes, Bucky is Winter Soldier.
So yeah, so then I could definitely see them doing that as well.
And a few years ago, they had Bucky being Cap while Cap was dead. So
right.
I'm getting so much hate in the chat right now. Like, I don't even like this.
I don't like them killing Cappy. I don't like that idea at all.
Okay, fine. Your scenario, and then we'll move on.
My scenario would be, you've talked about so many now, I really don't even have one anymore. It's just, it could be anyone at this point. I could definitely see, if I had to choose one, I'd probably see Nick Fury going. I think that they would do that. He would maybe try to stand up for them, or in like some sort of last-ditch defense against them, and he just picks him up, and then they're without a leader now, and then I could definitely see that going.
That could be the chance for them to bring Maria Hill in.
That's what I was saying, yeah, she could take over as his spot.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So, I can see that.
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson doesn't have to be human. I mean, he can be the real-life model decoys all over the place.
Yeah. Which they might be doing anyways with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they could introduce these human decoys into that, and then transfer over to that.
Either way, I like him doing like as morbid as it sounds, I like them bringing Ultron in to do an execution style thing.
I think that would be that'd be really great.
Prove a point. It's like, holy crap, what the hell just happened? And so I think that would be.
And any way that unfolds, it would like leave a really good cliffhanger for the next movie, as well. So.
And then Nick Fury's next movie would be called Nick Fury: An Acceptable Death. Nice, Astra. All right, we are going to move out of the long box. We only picked 2 stories this week because, well, we decided to, and that's going to be it. We're moving into the comic of the week for the week, and we're doing the second one of this series. And I'll let Spencer introduce it.
Third one, you mean?
This is the second one for us.
Oh, for you, okay. It's Batman Superman issue 3. I actually have it right here. You guys want to see that? So, if you guys don't follow the Batman Superman series, it's new, I think.
Written by...
Oh, sorry, yeah, written by Greg Pak, and then artist Jae Lee, and then, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yildiray Cinar?
Cinar? I think so.
I'm going to go with that. Let's say he does colors, maybe?
I think, yeah. So, you want me to just, briefly describe it real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, so, I mean, in the series right now, they have the old Superman, basically, Batman and Superman were fighting, and then they got teleported back. I I believe it was the old. They went back to the old Superman and Batman era. I'm kind of confused, but that was the one part I was kind of confused at.
We're not sure yet whether it's an alternate dimension or forward or backwards.
Yeah, it wasn't either of them. They didn't know because they were fighting, and then they all of a sudden transported Superman. This was an issue too. He said, "What did you do?" And then Batman said, "I had nothing to do with that." So they're not sure who teleported them back.
Okay.
It's setting up for something because there's also a nice flashback where you see how Bruce and Batman and Superman meet when they're little.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really cool part. I think they're leading up to something, and then also Wonder Woman's in it. She's helping them fight, and then they kind of had a clash between the old ones and the new ones. They kind of fought a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna flip to the end here. Can't remember what happens at the end. Oh, they're just kind of it just leaves off. Do you know who that person is that Wonder Woman's holding back? The guy with the red face.
I have no idea who that is.
See, I have no idea who that is either, and he's had a lot of dialogue in this second issue, and it left off with him escaping at the end. So he could be the one that teleported them back.
Maybe that's entirely possible. Okay, so to go with like starting at the beginning of this, first of all, the page layouts they're fantastic. Like of the art, that is my favorite. The opening page to make it a Batman Superman, like the story is going on, but you've got like Superman at the top within a page of artwork that looks like the Superman symbol. At the bottom of that page,
right,
it shows the title of the issue, and that's in an old school Batman.
I actually didn't even notice that Batman one at the bottom. That's actually really cool.
So
I didn't even notice that.
That layout is really good. And then directly in issue 2, young Clark, which is referred to as Blue Jeans T-shirt Clark, because he's got like a cape tucked into a T-shirt. They've got him kicking Wonder Woman in the butt to get her out of his way.
Yeah.
And are they doing something to Lois here in the beginning? Like, did something happen to Lois at the end of issue 2?
I'm looking at that actually right now. There was like a I guess she's the one who actually. Oh, now I understand. Now she was the one. She was disguised as that red devil kind of person. She was because at the end of issue 2, you can see her being stabbed by Wonder Woman, and then right there at the beginning of issue 3, you can see him coming out of her body.
Mm-hmm.
So that he was possessed as her to try and trick Superman. So I'm still not sure who he is, but yeah, she wasn't the real.
Well, whoever
Lois.
It says Kaiyo, Kaiyo.
Yeah, and she calls him a demon as well, and as you can see, he has red text. So
yeah, and then he's the demon is I guess telepathically or whatever talking to Darkseid.
Yeah.
So we did this, I guess, 2 or 3 months ago. We reviewed the first issue, and I was very critical on the art. Like, it was very weird, very. I called it like art house. Like, it was modern. I didn't understand the art.
It was very dark too, as well.
Yeah, the art really took me out of it. And going through this a second time, I still have a problem with Jae Lee's human form.
I'm not a huge fan of the faces in this either. They're kind of weird looking.
But there's some scenes here, like with Superman, older Superman, flying off on like page 4 or whatever, where it's kind of his body is darkened, but you see his hair and his cape.
Yeah,
that's a really good shot. And then, we both agreed there is the flashback. And
that takes a whole different turn to the art. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's
very cool.
Closer to traditional, I guess you say.
Yeah.
But I still like it. Like, you can still tell it's the same artist.
Yeah, exactly, because it still has those subtle facial features.
Yeah. But you get to watch Bruce and Clark really like hit it off. Like, they start sparring, and Bruce whoops Clark's ass. I mean, he takes him down without even trying.
Yeah. I think I like this comic book better comparing the two pages since they're next to each other right here on one of the pages. I definitely like the art that they're going with for the main story. For this story better because it's more of like a dark, kind of mysterious look opposed to the regular. I don't think they could have captured it quite as well if they went with a regular style art.
I mean, I get the need for the darker artwork. I really do. Oh, and also something else I mentioned. It's, there's two Batmans, two Supermans, olders and youngers. The older Superman seems to be kind of trying to teach young Clark.
Yeah, while fighting, they're also fighting the younger Batman for some reason.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing.
They're, he's young Clark is not. It is not, I guess, really acceptant of the, how do I put it, the help. Like, he doesn't want the help.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of like, he just wants to do his own thing, pretty much.
And I just noticed Wonder Woman straight up got a Pegasus in this book.
Yeah, she does. She flew in on a Pegasus in the issue 2.
Nice. That's impressive.
It was pretty cool. So she's flying around. I'm not really sure where she ties into this. She's kind of just there in the second part. She kind of just comes out of nowhere and just stabs Lois, and that's how the last one ended. So it's I honestly have no idea where it's going to go through. They're also weaponizing the kryptonite, which is strange. They thought that the reason why he was fighting Batman is because he thought that it was Batman, because Batman was the only one that knew where the kryptonite was, and so they thought that he was weaponizing it himself. But then they used, I think that was the devil that looked through, and he saw that it was, and they were weaponizing it.
I'm not gonna kill this one as bad on the art. Like,
yeah, it's different than the first one. Definitely, it's not as dark.
There's, if you go towards, I guess, the next to last page. Yeah, the next to last page. There's this at the bottom panel where you see the boom tube. I think you see the start to the boom tube, because normally in any DC comic, when you get that big boom,
oh yeah,
it's really bright, and it's just the silhouettes of the four heroes.
That's really cool, yeah.
I really like that shot. So, I mean, overall, I think I'm still going to go. The story is it's a 2 for 5 for me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't. It's going down for me as well.
It's going for me. I may pick this back up and trade once they decide to. Once they decide to put it in trade and have got enough issues out, but the art I was a little bit more receptive on. I think they figured out where they're going with the art.
Right. They've kind of they tried to set it as a dark setting more, I think, in the first one. So now they're going a little bit off that, I guess. It's definitely interesting, but I honestly, the story I'd probably say is a 3 out of 5 as well.
Okay, so I mean, I think middle of the road for me. I think the art is a 3 to 5. The story is a 2 to 5, so I'm gonna go with like a 3 for this.
Yeah, I'd probably go with a 4 for this issue.
Yeah.
I think overall,
I just press to that, but yeah.
I just think the story's going a bit slow for they're taking too long to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
So definitely. I kind of don't really understand it. So I'd like if they sped it up. Maybe in the next issue they'll talk more about it, but. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go pick it up, I'd say if people want to go start out an issue, it's only on issue 3, so you can still pick it up from the beginning.
Right.
But I would probably say you should go for the trades. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's what I would have done if I didn't already have these. I probably would go for the trades.
Especially if you're an art person and you want different style of art. Like I see this as being a very art, an art book, or art appreciation book.
Art based, yeah.
Yeah. But I might check it out in trade just to give it a shot. If they do the story.
Yeah.
If it's a 6-issue run, I think I'm okay with that. Anything longer,
I can see it being a short run.
Yeah, 4 to 6 issues. That's it. I mean, figure out something. It's definitely not going to be 4 because you still have no effing idea.
No, yeah, there's no way they can wrap this up in one more issue.
No.
And I really can't see any spin-offs or smaller issue series is coming off of this because it's really only 2 characters.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to move on into the Noob Versus. This is a segment we do every week where we pick someone in pop culture to battle it out with someone else. And last week, because it was our 50th episode, we decided to do me versus the noob, so nerd versus the noob last week. And I'm going to go with I lost. We're not going to give numbers, and I know it's crap. And my co-host today even voted against me, and so did today's producer.
I'm sorry. It's because he's a Whovian. That's that. We already have two people that said that. So.
But we did get an email from Jacob Boreham Wright, and he says, "Look, the obvious choice for the ultimate NATN noob versus would be the nerd. Why? Because the nerdy ninjas would throw their size into the faces of the Mongolian army guard, while Chuck Norris would flying roundhouse kick the Mongolian infantry right into Abraham Lincoln's, probably misspelled that, AK, rendering the Mongolian army. Then faume, well, that's one of our friends, would throw a Minecraft map at the noob, rendering him sedated. Then James Bond would delete the map, making the noob weep so hard that he would drown himself. If you read the whole sentence in one go, then good freaking going."
Wow.
he picked the nerd. That's a lot of nerd in one spot.
I like the Minecraft part where he throws the Minecraft map.
Oh, yeah, that's really funny. I like that. You are goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye. I had to go deal with something there. I lost. I don't agree with anyone.
He has a 2-week winning streak now.
He has a 2-week winning streak. I don't like this because last year he won like everything. And I've won so much this year, and I've enjoyed it all so much. I love winning. But this week our noob versus is actually going to be from Spencer this week, and we're gonna go with a theme you can do.
All right.
Because no one has given me one. We are going to go with the theme of, we'll go with just strictly fighter games.
Fighter games. Wow, that's the one game I really don't play that much.
Fine. Games in general.
Are you sure? Games in general? Okay, I like that one. I like that one. Let's see. Do you want to? I'll go first, I guess. Let's see. I have one in mind. I'm just trying to think if anyone could really beat him. I'm just trying to think real quick. I'm gonna go with Master Chief.
You got Master Chief?
I'm gonna go with Master Chief.
Okay, so you've got a Marine who doesn't die.
Yep. He can die, but he's just too good, so he doesn't die.
Okay, so Master Chief, who do I want? Man, I have not played enough new games. I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Snake.
Ooh, that's actually a really good one to go against the Chief.
Snake and Master Chief. So,
that's interesting.
I already picked Laura Croft, at least. She was 2 weeks ago.
I think if it had to be a video game character, that'd probably be one of the few that could go against him, I think.
Snake?
Yeah.
And I'm already losing. I'm already getting votes here for saying Master Chief.
Master Chief.
Make sure to check everywhere this week for either the doc or go to our forums, which is nerdandthenoob.niceboards.com, and check us out there. Our stuff will be posted there for you to vote. Snake, you want to vote Snake. Don't make me lose against the
You want to vote Master Chief. You want to make the logical choice.
Don't vote against me on a week where I have a special guest. Don't do it. Don't let the guest beat me. He does
let
not
the guest win.
Top with a 1-0. No. Okay, so we go into. Do you want to do our coming attractions?
I'm a bit sad of what's on here, but all right, yeah, I'll go ahead. All right, it says this week's top 5. What is the world coming to? And that was my first thought when I saw it. Number 1 this week was One Direction's This Is Us, $17 million.
Oh, good lord!
Oh my god!
I can't even. I knew that would make money, but dang.
I can see why, because there's no other summer blockbusters to compete against this right now, really. But All right, I'll just start off. Let's see. Second, we have Lee Daniels, The Butler, with 14.7 million.
I've seen a lot about that movie, but I haven't touched it.
I've heard about it. Yeah, I haven't really. I don't even think I've seen a trailer for it. Third, We're the Millers with 12.6 million. Fourth with Planes with 7.7 million. I'm actually kind of surprised at that because Cars is such a big movie.
Well, I think a lot of people are seeing it as it's a straight ripoff.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't a big.
No, it's not a. Is it done by Pixar? Because it's not a.
Yeah, it's not by Pixar. It's in the same. It says from the creators of Cars. Like they even have. I think they have a Cars character in it.
It's probably in the same universe, but
yeah,
Cars got done to death.
I'm not gonna lie. I loved Cars. As old as I may be, I still love Cars.
My son loved it, and we killed 3 DVDs.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best. It was awesome, and I really wasn't like I really didn't get like sucked into Planes at all. Because I saw Toy Story 3 when it came out, and of course, because that was awesome.
I've
so
seen that, yeah.
I still kind of like these movies, and I wasn't a big. I don't really think Planes was that cool.
Oh, okay. Number 5 was Instructions Not Included. I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know what that is either.
And the notables was the 9th was Getaway. Now, who was Getaway? I don't know what Getaway was.
I think it was from the same people that made Taken, I think. Is that what it was? Was that what it was?
You have been taken, now you must try and get away.
Yeah. I feel like I saw some sort of trailer that said from the makers of Taken. I think it was that.
It's the Ethan Hawke movie.
Ethan Hawke movie?
New Ethan Hawke and Selena Gomez movie. And it looks like John Voight was in it too. I've seen. It's another fast cars and lots of guns thing.
Oh, all right. Well, that could be interesting. I'm surprised that got beat by One Direction.
Yeah, right. Okay. The only trailer we've got is the international trailer for 47 Ronin.
I tried to load this. I couldn't load it.
Which is the Keanu Reeves samurai thing. And I'm gonna put it out there. One of my favorite movies is Last Samurai.
That I was just about to say that. I love the samurai background, the whole samurai history. Like I learned about those a lot in history, and I love the samurai background. And that movie was awesome.
And I've made fun of this. Like I've made fun of this is gonna be like honor and respect. It's my bad Keanu, but I've actually heard a lot of people say that the trailer for it is pretty badass.
I wish I could have watched it before, but it wouldn't load for some reason. But I'm just going to guess. On the screenshots I saw, it looked pretty cool.
So we are going to move down into our short box. First up is some Marvel news. I don't even have to click on the story, but it's from Comic Alliance, and they are confirming that Bradley Cooper is, in fact, Rocket Raccoon. And
I think that's a pretty cool choice.
Oh, I do too. Like he's got comedy chops.
Yep, because he was in Hangover, obviously.
Yeah, he's definitely got the comedy chops, but I also think he's got the acting chops. My question is if he has the action for it.
Did you see him in? I think he was in the movie Limitless. Did you see that? Was he in?
Was that an action style movie? I didn't see it.
It was, yes.
It is. Like it's the one where he takes like the pill and it can, it makes them all
Yeah, it was an action movie towards the end, and he was actually really good in it. I thought it went in like the first half of the movie was kind of him just messing around with everything, and then the second half was really him fighting against I forget who it was, but he ended up in a couple of gunfights and stuff, and it was really cool. He did a really good job with that.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited. Overall, like comic book wise, I don't know anything about this universe.
I actually just started reading Guardians of the Galaxy not too long on issue 3.
I've read a few of the issues and they're good.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited to see this movie.
Exactly, yeah. Is he actually playing as Rocket? I can't see how they're going to do that.
I'm sure that they're going to voice him. Like, he's going to voice it. And
that's what I thought, yeah.
At worst, and weirdly, they may put, like, the face bobble things on him, and while he's talking to try and get a more direct, like, actor's portrayal out of the 3D character.
Yeah.
But like him and Groot, the tree, they're straight up. They'll be computer generated.
Yeah, definitely Groot, obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
but
true.
he'll be Rocket Raccoon unless they decide to do him differently. In the comics, you're reading it. He's just a he's just a raccoon.
Yeah, and he's funny too. So I mean, I think he has that going for him.
Yeah. So I'm good. I'm good on this.
Yeah.
Next up, I will school you on this a little bit. James
Yes.
Spader has been casted as Ultron, and they haven't said how. They don't know whether he's going to be like the embodiment of Ultron or the voice. I don't think, anyway.
I have no idea.
For older people, James Spader played early on for me. He was in Stargate. He was in the original Stargate movie with Kurt Russell. He played Daniel Jackson. He was in Boston Legal with Shatner for a long time. A law show, comedy kind of law show. He's been in The Office recently. He's been acting for a long time. I'm fairly certain he's got a lot of awards.
That's what I've seen him in the Office. I recognize him from somewhere.
Yeah, I like him. He's one of my favorites. I mean, it's just the stuff that he's done has not been something that I watch. But
Right.
I was a lot younger when I watched Stargate for the first time, and he is still, even after being Daniel Jackson, the other gentleman, for 10 years, the original movie, he still portrayed that character a lot better for me, so he kind of sucked me in as an actor.
Right.
I'm good with this. I think with his voice and his ability to bring out the character, I think he can be a really good Ultron. I wonder if they're going to give him a little bit robot voiced.
I would think so.
But you don't know. We have no clue how they're going to do Ultron. We really don't at this point.
I'm really excited to see how they do Ultron.
Yeah, the comic books do him as straight up. He's an android. He's that's it, or he's a robot or whatever you want to call him. They could completely go another way with this.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting, but I don't know. I can't really say. I haven't seen him enough to really comment about him.
I think he's a good veteran actor to bring in for the role.
Right, they definitely need someone that is a veteran actor to do that. They can't just bring in someone new to do Ultron. I think that's a big role a big thing is shoes to fill with that.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you're touting him as like possibly the next big bad guy.
Yeah, I hope he is. He's pretty cool. I actually just started reading Age of Ultron with him in it, and he's really cool.
The next story is Vin Diesel confirms plans to do Groot's motion capture work. Now, I'm not going to give the man crap this week because he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So this week, no crap. I will say his quote on superherohype.com says it'll be voiceover, mocap, and all that fun stuff. So it looks like he's going to get the full bodysuit. Like he's going to act as Groot, and then they'll push the image over the mocap balls. Like they're doing. Have you seen the screen cap for Ninja Turtles now?
I haven't. I've seen those screen balls before. I saw the ones for Call of Duty that they did.
Yeah, they're gonna do that with him.
Okay.
So that's interesting. Like Bradley Cooper's gonna just do voice. I assume Diesel's gonna be. It's essentially an on-camera role for him, but not because he's not on roll, and we all know that I've been arguing for months about him being on camera.
Would that mean he would voice it too, or?
Yeah, he's still going to voice it.
Okay.
More than likely what's going to happen is he's going to do the lines while he's there and do the capture on set, and then he'll end up redoing the voice ADR, after
Yeah,
the fact.
I don't think the voice would be that hard to do, because have you seen, like, in Guardians of the Galaxy, he just kind of screams, "I am Groot" the whole time. That's really, like, yeah, that's like the only thing he says in the first 3 issues is just, "I am Groot" when he's attacking, so I don't really think he'd have that much dialogue to do anyways.
I'm okay. I mean, he may or may not. He was, what was it, the old, really, really old movie where he was a robot. I can't think of it right now.
I can't think of it either.
I Am Giant?
Was it I Am Giant?
I think so. Isn't that the one?
I have seen that. I remember when you're talking about.
Really old, really good movie, actually. I think that's his voice on that as well. I do know that I want to see someone wipe out Groot, because I did see something, and you read it, so you should have seen this.
When with the splinter?
When he just grabs a splinter and brings it
Yeah, he
back.
pulls the splinter.
Iron
He
Giant, thank you.
Yeah.
What does he do with the splinters? He just set it down.
He puts it in a plant pot, and he puts it in the wood, and then when they're
okay.
And then the police force goes on the ship, and they don't know he's there. They just see this little splinter in a pot, and they're like, that's kind of weird. So they're getting the weapons. Then he grows and ends up kicking the crap out of everyone. So
okay, that can be great for the movie. I want to see that from the movie.
it was funny too, because every panel, at the end of in issue 2, at the end of every page, they would just show a panel of him, just a pot with a splinter in it, just sitting there. It was really cool.
Let's see here. We're getting someone in our chat. Alice is saying that we need more female characters. Alice, I completely agree. I don't think there are enough female characters in any movie right now.
There is a female character in Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's 2.
There's 2, is there?
Zoe
Oh yeah, there is 2.
And one of the companions.
Forget their names.
Can't
remember.
I like this. Jennifer Lawrence should be anything and everything. I agree entirely. Jennifer Lawrence should be in everything. Alright, so we're going to move on to our next story, which is a little bit of DC news, and I don't know what I'm clicking here because I've seen a lot of these interviews this week, but Matt Damon, the fact that he had to come out and say this is, I will not be Robin.
I saw that someone quoted it and had his angry face on it on Reddit, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, there's just a quick part of the quote here. It's from superherohype.com. It says, being asked about the film, it says, I think it'll be great. It will be terrific. I know there are a lot of people grousing on the internet. I just think it's kind of funny. You know, he's not playing King Lear. It's Batman. Now, see, that line kind of aggravates me. Certainly within his skill set, if anybody saw Argo or The Town and all the work he's been doing lately, it's way more nuanced and interesting and way more difficult than Batman. Batman just sits there with his cape or his cowl over his head and whispers in a kind of gruffy voice, "Damn, Matt, you are not making friends with this."
I don't think that's fair to say that it's that The Town was harder than Batman. I don't think so.
Oh my god! I wanted to read this. Just wow. I like Matt Damon too, but I think Ben gets what being Batman more than what Matt does.
Definitely, I think, yeah.
Because Ben is a comic book guy.
Yeah.
And it just says, but safe to say, I won't be playing Robin. Dang, that's some hate for the character right there.
No, that was... I can't believe you said it would be easier than Town, than playing The Town, because I
haven't seen those yet. I'm going to go back.
You haven't seen The Town?
I'm going to go back and watch Argo and The Town, because I know
I haven't seen Argo.
Two big things, so... Wow.
The Town, he was just a regular bank robber. I mean, he was just a robber. I mean, Batman, you have to kind of play as 2 characters, so I think that's more difficult.
I kind of do, too. And let's see here. It looks like our next story is... Arrow.
I know nothing about this one.
Arrow Season 2 is getting even more packed. I'm still yet to catch up to Arrow, and it's a wrong.
I have meant to watch it. I haven't even seen it yet.
It says Amanda Waller is possibly set to appear on an episode of Arrow. And for those of you that don't know, Amanda Waller is, what is a great way to describe her? The Nick Fury of the DC universe. She's involved in the highest end of the government and everything.
It makes sense, yeah.
So it looks like it says we'll be seeing the presence of fan favorite Amanda Waller, who will be head of the show's already introduced Argus agency, and then there are more details which you guys can check out on your own. I get in trouble for reading details. I'm okay with this. As many characters as they can add. Now there's one character called Diggle.
Right.
He's kind of he was the bodyguard, and now he's the partner. He's even made it into the comics already.
That's cool.
So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with seeing some Waller.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to add on that because I haven't seen the show yet.
All right.
Which I should.
All right, then you've got some thoughts on the next one because we've got stuff from you here. Justin Timberlake wants to be the Riddler. Go.
All right, I was going to talk about the Jim Parsons thing. We'll talk about that after. I think Justin Timberlake, I can't really see him playing in that as the Riddler. I mean, I I'm really not sure who the Riddler would be because it's a really tricky character to do.
I don't want to see, as much as I love Jim Carrey, I don't want to see a Jim Carrey version of him again. I'd rather see the top hat with the jacket. The more, like, proper, not the 60s Batman version, not the Jim Carrey version. I want to see a...
Have you played Arkham City?
Yeah.
Batman Arkham City?
It, yeah.
Like how he is in that. Because he had brief moments in that, and he was really cool.
Yeah. And, okay, so we've got a couple things in here, and we'll get to yours. Some of the things that came from our people says, I'd like to see Jim Parsons as the Riddler from Dave Townsend. The producer also says Jim Parsons. It says, to me, Riddler is so tricky. Jim Parsons, yeah, I would love that on so many levels. I do think he could pull it off. I just want to throw this name in the mix. Jesse Eisenberg. As much as I enjoy Jim Parsons, I think Jesse Eisenberg would be huge. Spencer, you said Jim Parsons as well.
Yep.
Dave also said he can see Jesse Parsons doing the role, or maybe even Michael Cera. I don't see Michael Cera, but you say Jim Parsons, so I want to hear why.
I think that I say Jim Parsons because the Riddler is kind of more of an intelligent. Well, I guess you could say he kind of talks like intelligently because he makes up all these riddles, and Jim Parsons already plays that in Big Bang Theory. Mm-hmm. So I think that he has a good background and a good like already like stepping stone to play as him, since he already plays as someone that's much like the Riddler. And I could just see he just kind of looks like what he would like the Riddler would look like too, as well. Just his face and his like, I guess you could like I don't know, just his overall, I guess you call it swagger, maybe the way he like acts and moves and stuff like that.
Could you see him coming off of the Sheldon role, though? I mean, because he's kind of stuck there right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I would probably see him as Sheldon. I mean, it's kind of tough to like make a tweak from Sheldon to Riddler, because they're a lot of the same.
But they're also completely different.
They're completely different. Exactly. But I don't know. I could picture him as a Riddler though.
Okay, I mean, I'm down with that. I could see it, but I don't know. I'm just a big fan of that actor, so I mean that's fine. I don't have. There are very few out there that I have. I put a face to, and I think I know why. I do it because I try not to get my hopes up for who I want in it. Mm-hmm. But I think the version of the Riddler that I would like to see is the suit with the tie and the cane all the time, but it's more of a prop than a thing.
He just kind of carries it instead of like actually using it.
And I want to see a more sophisticated and less silly version of the Riddler.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the 1966, the original Batman movie Riddler, and I wasn't a big fan of that Riddler.
No, I like the guy, but
like it was funny for that kind of movie,
because
it was just an overall kind of comedic.
I
guess you could say. Yeah, I do too. But yeah, I'd like to see a more proper thing.
Yeah,
that's why I picked Jim Carrey.
There's a good word for it. Proper. Proper's a really good word for it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that better. More proper, calculating.
Yeah, exactly.
Very.
And I think that's where Jim Parsons came into that. Okay. Because he already is sort of like that. I don't see Justin Timberlake though.
No, definitely, I don't see it either.
No.
I get yelled at because people who want to be the part. I think there's a lot of people out there that would want to do this part.
I know exactly. Just because someone says they want to be the part doesn't mean they should automatically do it. Because everyone would want to.
Thank you. Thank you. I got so much shit from the one who sits in the chair behind me all the time. Alrighty.
Because I could just say what's different from them saying that they want to be the part than me saying I want to be the part. Like it's the same. Just because someone says they want to be it, I think they should be picked to be it instead.
Now I have seen some of Justin Timberlake's movies. He's not bad.
I haven't seen any of his. I'm not gonna lie.
The chat is telling me they could do worse. They completely could do worse.
Yeah, he's not.
But I would want to see. I guess I would need to see more of his stuff. Like, I know he's got a little bit better chops than back in the day. And he definitely has swagger.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't shoot it down if someone said, yes, this is his role. I wouldn't just outright shoot it down, but I'd like to see the other possibilities out there.
I could definitely see him being the proper Riddler as well, because if you've seen his latest his album that came out, the suit and tie. I mean, that was all about wearing a suit, and then he wore that, and it kind of it could portray into Riddler as well.
Okay.
So I don't think it's the worst decision they can make, but they can make better.
You think? I think there could be better. All right, we're gonna move down into movie news, and this is just a little quickie one here, and I saw this. It's from Latino Review. Rachel Hurd-Wood and Alex Pettifer. It looks like they've been in for reads, for auditions, and it looks like it's possible for them to come in as the twins of Leia and Han.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how much of the. I'm sure you probably don't know a lot about the expanded universe.
No, I know more of just the movie, just the standalone movie universe, pretty much.
But there's several kids. There are a set of twins involved as well, and if I'm correct, they do the girl is good, and the boy ends up turning to the dark side.
Okay.
But this is also kind of contradictory to what a lot of people have heard, saying that if they do these twins, they're following a similar path to the expanded universe, which has already been set up, and I don't know if they want to do that.
I mean, if they're going off the universe that's already there, I don't think they'd really switch to the expanded universe.
I don't know. The expanded universe, is pretty deep with what they've got. I've listened to some of the books, some of the novelizations of stuff after the movies.
Is the expanded universe just basically everything else besides the movies?
Yeah, it's
for the most.
Okay. It's what. Well, it started out with, I think, what happened after the movies. After 4, 5, and 6, it's what happened after the fact. But now you've got comic books that go 3,000 years in the past, and 1,000 years in the future, and everywhere else. So there's so much there that if they start down that path, they can't come off of it.
Yeah, because the only thing I've read from that is the Star Wars Hard Targets with focusing on Boba Fett, and that's before the Star Wars movies came out. Before those took place. So that's really the only thing I know about that, with the expanded universe.
Okay. I'm okay with the twins if they bring them in. I think that's I think that
would definitely be cool. I think
to have twins that were. Now, would you start them out as teenagers? Because they've got to be at this point or grown. Would you like to see them younger for the angst, or grown and already on their separate paths?
I'd probably already want to see them growing on their separate paths.
Yeah?
Because then there could be a cool backstory to that, and then they come back together and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Because they already kind of did that with Anakin Skywalker when he was young and then he grew up. So I think they would probably go the opposite way with this one.
So you're done with the kid and teenager thing then?
Yeah, exactly. So they probably go the opposite way with this one, because that would just turn into the kind of same story.
Okay.
If you will.
Next up is Kurt Russell is cast in Fast and Furious 7 in a mainly mysterious role, but it is said that it is a role that was originally offered to Denzel Washington.
Huh. I could see him in it. That'd be kind of cool.
I can
as an older racer in the series.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of cool. Just have him as
a more
what's his name? Like Vin Diesel before he was that guy.
Yeah. More of the more experienced, maybe, but the old school kind of.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Like an even older, car. That would be kind of cool. I would love to see.
I could see him driving an old Mustang, probably. That would be cool.
I would love to see some of these older actors show up in these franchises. If they're going to continue Fast and the Furious, at this point, the way the movies are going, you're going to end up with 10 of them.
Yeah, I've always had a view of Fast and Furious, and the one that I liked the most was Tokyo Drift. I want to see that back again, like Tokyo Drift 2. But
Really?
I'm not really a huge fan of the new Fast and Furious. It's less about the cars, more about like the action now.
I think it's less about the story in general.
Yeah, the story in general is kind of lacking. Like the Tokyo Drift story was like excellent, and same with Fast Furious 2, and then 5 I wasn't really a huge fan of, and then I didn't even see 6 yet.
I haven't seen 6. I saw 5.
I saw the trailer for 6. It looked like 5.
I own the first 4. I like them. I mean, let's get things clear. I give Vin Diesel crap. I love those movies. I sit there.
I like him in those movies. Yeah.
But yeah,
I want it to be more about the cars and the story than the action and
I
stuff.
want it to go back to being, I want it to be more about the story and less about punching people.
Yeah, and like more about the racing. Like
the first one is still in my opinion, the best one because it was so much about the story.
Yeah.
All they really had was story there. There was a lot of car stuff, but I mean, it was really focused on story. So I think you bring in some of these other actors and everything. I think you get a really good mix of. I think you get a really good mix of stuff like that.
Like that's why I like Tokyo Drift the best because they challenged him at the end. He was challenged to a race, and whoever won the race was the new. Like he got banished from the family or whatever it was. I think that's cool. Like instead of just like meet me here, we're gonna have like a gunfight or something like that. They have a race, and I think that's what it should be about. Instead of like in 5 where they stole the safe was the end of I believe that was the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's not really what I want to see with the Fast and Furious.
Right. All right, moving on.
But that would be definitely cool to bring in an older guy. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see an older guy. You said you'd never seen the original movie of this.
No, I haven't.
The story is from Spinoff on, or no, I'm sorry. Yes, it's from Comic Book Resources, but Spinoff Online, and it just simply says Todd McFarlane. Let me speak correctly. Says new Spawn movie will be horror and could shoot next year. Now, you've never seen the original. And
no.
I need you to see the original while you're on holiday, break this week.
I definitely will, yeah, because there's just so many shows I watch that always talk about Spawn, and like there's a whole podcast I watch, and their whole segment is devoted. It's called Spawn here. Oh, so I definitely have to. Yeah, I definitely have to watch. I'm gonna watch it now after all this.
Amongst my generation, the original Spawn, as low budget as it was and everything else, and I didn't know anything about the character. Like, I didn't know who he was or anything. I loved the original Spawn. And I think it was pretty close to a horror movie. I mean, you had aspects of hell and the devil and evil clowns. I mean, hell, that's horror right there. Evil clowns.
Well, can you give like a brief synopsis of like a brief description of what he is, or is that possible?
Jeez, it's been a long time. I'm gonna get it wrong. From what I can remember, it's based around, and I don't remember the actual character's name because he goes, I know Spawn. In the movie, he is a police officer that gets betrayed by one of his own, gets killed, and because of what he's done throughout his career, is sent to hell. But he doesn't want to stay, so he agrees to be an agent of the devil or whoever. That's
actually like the same exact plot point as R.I.P.D. That's the movie that came out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the exact. Okay, so I get what you're saying.
However, he comes back with this special ability. It's like an armor because he's burnt. Like apparently in this version of hell, you burn. Like you get burned.
Right.
So he ends up with the cape and
I see that in the picture. That's pretty cool.
And everything, he ends up in that armor. John Leguizamo plays the evil clown, and again, it's been so many years since I watched it. I don't remember all the names. But it was a low budget film. I think it did really well as a low budget film. That's what he says. Actually, reading this part, he said it's not going to be a big budget film, a giant budget with a lot of special effects. That's what McFarlane said. I don't think it has to be. I think I would be perfectly happy with maybe an upgrade, just a slight upgrade to the special effects they had in the original. Completely. And also, if they can't bring Michael Jai White back, they need to just wait until he's ready. Because when you watch it this week, you'll agree with me. Dude was great as just that character. He's very. You could feel the. You could feel like not the hate when he had the hate and the sorrow and everything of what he was having to do to be there.
Okay.
To be
and
in
this
his family's life.
This is said to be a horror movie, like classified as a horror movie, correct? So like.
Yeah, it came from Image Comics, and Spawn is straight up. It was a horror character meshed with a little bit of superhero.
Okay, because that's cool, because I don't like horror movies as it is, not because they're scary or anything, just because like they're always the same thing, just like regenerated. And it'd be cool to see the more like a comic book style one, and I'd like that better. So that's cool.
All right, we're gonna move on. This is just a quickie. There's a full link for it if you'd like to read it. It is Louis Leterrier. It says Terrier. Is going to direct Now You See Me 2. Let me see if it gives what else he has done. I don't believe it did, because I read through this a little bit.
I don't think I see anything.
It just says That's Why I'm a Multi-Million-Dollar Hollywood Scripter. Well, I tell you what.
I've heard his name before somewhere.
We're going to do a little bit of this here.
There's an additional reading. There's an additional reading link at the bottom.
He is known for The Hulk, Clash of the Titans, Now You See Me, and Transporter 2. Oh,
okay.
That's a pretty good resume. That's it. That's all he's directed. Now You See Me, Clash of the Titans, Incredible Hulk, Transporter 2, and Unleashed. That's not a bad resume.
No, especially for that amount of movies there.
I haven't got to see Now You See Me yet. I haven't
either.
And they loved it. They absolutely loved it.
I'm very behind in my movies, so I have not seen it.
Actually, for this year, I am so far behind, it's not even funny. Like, as these movies come out, like, in succession, in 3 months or whatever,
right.
All of this year's movies, I am going to watch them all.
I think this is my biggest movie year so far. I've seen pretty much most of them that at least applied to me.
It's probably my worst movie year. Like, there was a dozen movies I wanted to see, and I got to see maybe 2 of them.
I think the only one I wanted to see that I didn't get to see is Kick-Ass 2. That's still in theaters, but
yeah,
I don't think I'm going to get to see that.
I just don't have time or the money,
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of that, but anyways.
Next up, this one, you have no clue, but do you want to go into it?
Well, I have views right now that before we talked about it.
Alright, go for it.
Wait, do you want me to read?
Yeah.
I gotta click on the link here. It says Green Ranger. Sorry, I opened it up, so it's gonna load now. Jason David Frank wants a PG-13 Power Rangers movie, or Green Ranger movie. See, I think that would be cool, but that would also push away a lot of the already audience that they have, which is, like you said before, younger kids. But it would definitely be cool, because I think that would add because a lot of people I've talked to that aren't really into the stuff that, like, comics and stuff as much, they always think the Power Rangers is kind of like a cartoonish, like, little kid show. Mm-hmm. Even though they are pretty cool, I'm attracted by them. They're pretty cool.
There's a reason they've been around for 20
Exactly,
years.
Yeah. I mean, people obviously like them, and mainly little kid. I guess you could say a lot of that is little kids. And for them to do a PG-13 movie, I think it's good and bad, because it will attract more people, but then again, it pushes away some of its longer fans.
I don't know. I don't know how it would attract more. Like, as much as I grew up with the original Power Rangers and seeing him as the Green Ranger and everything, and I know now he's an MMA fighter. So I'm wondering what side of the PG-13 he wants. Does he want more violence and a better budget?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I really can't
get it.
Yeah.
He'd never get the bigger budget. I think the biggest draw for Power Rangers for all these years is the fact that it's a kid's show. It's meant for children because it's, it's not going to scare them with the monsters that are on it, but it still gives them a bad guy to hate,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And there's plenty of action in it as well, so maybe they'll improve in the action a bit more. Maybe, I'm not sure. It'd be kind of cool. I'm picturing kind of like a more badass Power Rangers movie, if you could say it like that, I guess.
Do you see one Ranger having the ability to hold a whole movie? Because he's suggesting just a solo Green Ranger.
No, I can't see that at all.
No.
I can't. Not, I don't think it's not really like the Avengers. You can split them up and make their own movies. They're kind of like shown as you know them as a team.
Right.
So that's what I see them as, a team, and I don't think I'd really like a movie with just one of them. I feel like that would be kind of lame, actually. Not really lame, but it would be it wouldn't be as cool as if they were all in there. I wouldn't enjoy it as much.
No, I think you need, because on top of saving the world or Angel Grove or whatever city you're in at the time, every week, it's partly about them cohabitating.
Yeah.
And being a group. So I don't see. I'll put it this way: I can completely see and agree to a PG-13 Power Rangers movie. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it would be weird to see. I think it would be like a single iteration of a story. You know, it would build off of. It could be a completely new set of Rangers.
That's a good point.
But I would be shocked if it ever actually happened.
Yeah, I'd like to see a PG-13 movie, but I wouldn't like to see just one of them in the movie.
No, definitely not.
I want to see if it's gonna be PG-13. I want all of them to be in it.
Now, this is a confession. I still, every now and again, watch the newer stuff because they bring back old Rangers. And every time they bring back an old one, it gives me, I get nostalgic. So I watch it every now and again.
I haven't seen any of the new ones. I used to watch. That was one of my favorite shows when I was little. That the Cartoon Network series. I think it was on Cartoon Network. I believe.
I think
was it on Cartoon Network?
Been on Cartoon Network before.
I think so. Yeah, that was one of my probably favorite shows
Or
ever of
ABC
my
Family
childhood.
or something.
Might have been. I don't know. They've changed so much since then. But yeah, definitely. That's why I'd enjoy it too if they came out with a new movie, because it'd be a lot of nostalgia as well.
Yeah. Okay, so the next article is from bleedingcool.com, and it's called a casting roundup. Let's see here. We'll go into the points. I'll hit the first one, and we'll just go through, and this is us reading, but we're just going to go real quick. Movie 42 star Chadwick Boseman is going from Jackie Robinson to James Brown.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so he gets to be the King of Soul.
The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 has cast unknown Australian actress Steph Dawson in role of Annie Cresta, who is the longtime love interest of Finnick Odair, played by Sam Claflin.
Okay. Let's see here. It just says, for Fringe fans, Joshua Jackson has already lined up his next TV gig. He's rounding out the quartet of the cast in Showtime drama pilot The Affair. I like him. I watched Dawson's Creek in school. I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't
seen it.
And I liked him in everything he's ever done. I've seen a few episodes of Fringe, so I'm cool with that one.
All right. Scott Eastwood has landed a role in David Ayer's World War II tank drama Fury. Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Michael Pena, and Logan Lerman star. That's pretty cool. I'm not really sure who Scott Eastwood. I'm not really familiar with him, but Brad Pitt is in that. That's really cool. And because I liked him in Inglourious Basterds, and that's another World War II movie.
I like Brad Pitt.
Cool. Yeah, he's good.
He is the son of Clint Eastwood. Scott Eastwood is Clint Eastwood.
That's what I figured that.
Let's see if he's doing anything good. God, he's in like 5 movies right now. Chicago Fire, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm looking for anything. Gran Turismo. And
He was in Gran Turismo?
Yeah, it says he played Trey. Not Gran Turismo. I'm sorry, Gran Torino.
Yeah, Gran Turismo. What was he? What Trey? I'm trying to remember what that. I watched that last year.
Netflix House of Cards. Rachel Brosnan has landed the lead role in the indie horror The Sainthood of Bethany Wolf. These aren't horror movies. These are good God, the weird.
They're like the low budget, lesser professional, I guess, horror movies.
Yeah.
Broadway Spider-Man Reeve Carney has left the stage and is heading for the small screen by joining the cast of the Showtime series Penny Dreadful. Carney will play Dorian Gray in the monster mashup series that also stars Timothy Dalton, Josh Hartnett, and Evergreen.
All right, good for you. Not getting yourself killed on Spider-Man anymore.
Is that the end of that?
Yeah, yep. That's
okay,
the end of
I
that.
exit out.
Just a short thing of TV news. J.J. Abrams and Jonathan Nolan make a deal with HBO for a new Westworld TV series.
Click on that.
Let's see here. It's described as a dark odyssey about the dawn of artificial conscious and the future of sin. Well, that can't be any more vague. It's based upon the 1973 movie of the same name. I have not seen it, but if it's J.J. Abrams, I'm down.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
It's a Western. I mean, that's...
We haven't seen... Is there any Western TV shows out right now?
Not really. And the last thing Western bombed because it was The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, right. And then before that, it was Aliens vs. Cowboys, and that was the last thing that we saw. Cowboys and Aliens.
It wasn't a good movie, and it was probably...
I've heard it wasn't a good movie, so I didn't see it.
It was my least favorite Harrison Ford movie, but there were still some parts in it I kind of enjoyed. Not a lot
okay, so I think we're...
But some.
So we're definitely overdue for a new Western series.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah.
What was the last Western TV show? I think it was, what's that big one? I can't remember the name. It was,
Bonanza?
But yeah, I was gonna say Bonanza, yeah. I've actually seen that. It's pretty good.
Oh, I like the show. Alice in the chat says the last Western bombed because it wasn't Firefly. Agree, ma'am. I agree. Firefly is the best Western ever. All right, Mr. Gamer, go for it.
All right, Forza announces in-game rewards. I gotta open up the link quick because I haven't even seen this. Let's see. Earlier this week, Microsoft announced day one editions of some of its first and Forza Motorsport 5. Early adopters will receive bonus vehicles, livery, and tuning. Today, the publisher announced plans for a long-term system with benefits for fans who have already and will continue to invest their time playing the series called Forza Rewards. Kind of sounds like a because I have played the Forza before and they never really did something like this. They had the add-on packs. I'm trying to think of what game kind of did this. There was a game that recently started giving rewards for long-term players.
I've never played a game that's like that gives rewards out for long-term. I haven't liked a racing game since Need for Speed. Oh, good lord! One of the early Need for Speeds.
Underground, probably.
Yeah.
That was pretty much everyone's favorite.
Yeah, the first one where you could really start customizing stuff.
Yeah, that was Underground, I think.
That was probably the last one I played a lot of. I mean, I like them, but like pure racing games, like the last pure racing game I played was a NASCAR computer game that allowed me to turn around and run into everybody, and I'd see.
Oh man, that's the Xbox. I played that one before, NASCAR 09.
So that's the last one I played, and I loved it.
Forza 4 is a great game. I played a lot of that game, probably more than I did with Need for Speed. That's a great game.
I mean, is there story to it, or is it just like you're a racer?
No, it's basically you start off as a low-level racer. It goes in classes like E, C, and then the highest class is X1, which is the Formula 1 cars.
Yeah.
And you basically start from like you literally race like Mini Coupes and Priuses, and then you move up and get Lamborghinis, and then you end up racing F1 cars. So it's a more progression story.
Is there good like handling to the game, like the
it definitely is.
Because I know it's a beautiful game. Like every year they put it out, it's a really good looking game. But I grew up playing these games in the arcade. Like if I could put an arcade racing game,
they do have racing wheels for it available.
Oh, dude, those things! If they're not any better, like back in the day, I had the setup where it was like you set it between your lap, and then you had the pedals.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing was horrible.
They have a really nice one for the PlayStation. It's like $300. It's like an actual really cool one. Yeah, but again, the Forza's not on PlayStation, so that doesn't help anything.
I didn't know it was an Xbox only game.
No, it's an Xbox exclusive. It has great customization. Like it's intense how much customization there is. Mostly, you can tune the whole car and everything like that. You can set like the tire damper, like the pressure of the tires to see how much you drift and slide and stuff like that. And there's also a lot of visual you can do.
It says Forza Motorsport 5 will launch alongside the Xbox One console in November. So if you are an Xbox fan and you plan on buying this system and not immediately selling it on eBay, you can pick up this game. And if any of our listeners do, let us know what it's like. I haven't played a racing game in a really long time. If it's worth a play, I might try it. You know, we were talking about the only game I'm currently looking forward to is GTA.
I got the whole list of PlayStation games coming out. I'm just looking forward to all of them.
Xbox and PlayStation, or just PlayStation?
Right now, I have Xbox 360. I'm only getting PlayStation 4 after. I won't be getting Xbox One.
I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to go with any of them.
I actually pre-ordered the I pre-ordered the PS4 day one, like right when they announced it.
No.
Yeah, I did. I'm that bad when it comes to games. I'm really into gaming.
Dude.
I just wanted to make sure I had one. That's just how I am. I just want to really make sure I had it. And then I also have tons of games. I have Battlefield, Call of Duty Ghosts, Watch Dogs, and Assassin's Creed, and GTA, and maybe Batman Arkham Arkham Origins as well.
God, man.
This is gaming's like the thing that it's what I do.
And lastly, we're not going to click the link, but our chick news for the week.
Oh, I don't want to click this anyway.
50 Shades cast is going to be announced after Labor Day. So, ladies and guys, for the find out what boobs you're going to see on the movie. Wait after Labor Day, it will be announced.
How does it seem like there's always 50 Shades of Grey info? Like, there's always something news on here every week of 50 Shades of Grey.
Because
she's
our
putting it out.
producer's wife.
Well, is that much? No, I'm just wondering. Like, I know that, but like, there's that much like info coming out about it? Like,
I guess like the fact that they're going to announce a cast is a big
deal. Like, yeah, because we don't have like Avengers like news every week, so I'm just wondering us. I'm not offending 50 Shades of Grey or anything like that.
Ladies.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's a cool idea. I know, definitely.
All right, so the question of the week last week was: we were 50 episodes down. What would you like to see in the next 50 episodes? You want to take a couple? You take one or two, and I'll take the other ones.
Yeah, and then I want to talk about what I had too as well after.
Sure.
Let's see. James Tipper said a black lizard with a derby cap.
Really, Rusty.
And a Thompson submachine gun shooting at a pink lizard with a half backwards baseball cap, dual wielding Uzis. All right.
Thanks for being serious, Rusty.
I don't think that's really possible, but
our producer says he'd like to see guests. Check. Interviews, haven't done that yet, and a lot more viewer interaction.
That's pretty much what mine was.
And maybe the Nerd and the Noob 7, our own band. Go for it.
All right. Anthony, I couldn't see because your name was Anthony, a Nerd and the Noob soundboard or a thingy that initially you use on the show, then later make it available for purchase over the digital marketplaces. That'd be kind of funny, actually.
Just like our sounds or whatever, like that makes me giggle. All right.
Pretty much what my the thing I wanted to say is the subscriber, like the viewer call-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what I meant by that is I was actually watching. Are you familiar with Unbox Therapy on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
You know what that is? There's a whole, because I'm in a lot of the tech on YouTube, and there's a huge YouTube area, like a community that just unboxes tech and then shows what it looks like and stuff. And he's one of the most famous people for doing that.
Yeah. I know that. I haven't seen the tech stuff, but like a lot of people do unboxing of like their loot crate and stuff. Yeah,
everyone does unboxings, action figures, loot crates, all that stuff, games. And he recently started a podcast, and on the podcast, his test run, I was there, and I actually recommended this, and he ended up doing it. He just basically plugged in his phone into the auxiliary port of the microphone amp. I'm not sure if you guys use mix amp for your microphone.
No, okay, so here's the thing. We fund this show completely by ourselves, and
so it just goes, okay.
we just run straight into the computer, man. Like, we have not got enough money to buy
any definitely. Equipment. This is just one way. You could do it a bunch of ways. This is just one way he did it. Is he plugged it into there, and he had the audio was also coming through the audio, right? Like it was like a third microphone kind of. Yeah. And he got an app. I forget what it's called. You can get these burner apps, and you get a temporary number for people to call in, and then you answer the call, and then you get to he was talking about what's their favorite piece of tech coming out, or what questions have they always had for him. So it was cool, yeah.
I might have to look into that. We had a thought on that you and I have talked about, and a couple of us other have talked about it, where maybe replacing once a month the Nerd and the Noob podcast with an episode where it's like something along the lines of what do you think? Where it's we schedule a couple of people who are fans that want to come on, and let them contact us and say, all right, we'll add you to Google and bring you in, and do an episode where for like 10 minutes we bring somebody in and they get to bring a topic with them and we talk about it.
I've actually seen a lot of different podcasts and live streams actually do that. Like King of the Nerds, a couple of the winners that they hosted their own Google Hangout, and they invited everyone. They invited, I think, 3, because you can only hold a certain amount of people on here. And they would fill up the rest of the spots with people, and they'd ask them questions. And after like 10 minutes, they filter them out and add some new people in.
Nice.
So I've seen it work out. It works out pretty well. So that would be cool.
All right, so we're going to move into the question of the week for this week, and it is, let's see here, here's our 2 ones, if you could remember seeing how, and who's the, it's either who the next comic book character confirmation will be and who will play them, or if you could rewrite any scene in any movie, what would it be and how would you change it? And that was sent to us by one of our listeners, Minor 8399. So it's your episode. I'll let you pick the question.
So I pick between these 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with, I like the if you could rewrite any scene in the movie, what would you do? What would it be and how would you change it? I like that one.
Okay.
That's really cool.
I have no clue. I will actually have to put this one on the next week's show. Normally I have an answer, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here.
That's a good question. I like that question. So
yeah, I'll probably end up thinking about it and sending it in.
That is a good question.
I like that.
So there's our question. And that is our show. Would you like to pimp your wares again?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, I'm on Twitter @thegeekintel. My blog, I haven't really been writing too much on the blog, but it's geekintel.wordpress.com, and also I have a YouTube channel. I do tech reviews, unboxings, comic book pickup videos, comic book reviews, and all that good stuff. That's Geek Intel, or just Geek Intel, sorry. And definitely check out our podcast, The Great Geek Debate. We talk about pretty much the same stuff I just mentioned: comic books, tech, science, all that good stuff. So yeah, and I just want to say thank you for having me on the show as well.
Oh yeah, man, no problem.
It's a big honor to be on the show.
It's bigger. I don't know. I don't know about that, but I appreciate that.
For me, it is so.
Hey, this just means I got to get on y'all's show at some point.
That would be awesome. We would definitely have that. Because we're working out some guests too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we're trying to add some guests to the show.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, Nerd and the Noob, every week, you can email us at nerdandthenoob@gmail.com. We are on Twitter everywhere. It's at nerdandthenoob. You can do my Twitter. It's at gman0184. Our noobs, our absent noob today, is at mangoirl. If you want us on Facebook, you can go there. It's Nerd and the Noob. We have a really good Facebook community going. And if you would, if you want, we also have a forum that is, it's grown. There's a lot there, and you can always add more. It's nerdandthenoob.niceboards.com. And I'm missing something. I do this every week, but it's usually in that chair, and I'm ready. I think that's it. If
the show's Twitter? Did you miss that?
No, that's Nerd and the Noob.
Okay.
I got that. Yeah. I'm super professional at this. I do this all the time. If you have anything you guys want to talk to us about, anything at all, the way Spencer got on the show as a guest was he was there. He was present. He was involved. He's always there. We're going to bring other people on. I kind of like doing this. Even if it's me and Michael and somebody else, I like doing this. Once we got it figured out, it was really fun to do.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked it.
I want to thank Twinkie for being our substitute producer today. You will be asked into action again, sir. I want to thank, as always, our normal producer for putting together the show. And I want to thank Spencer for being willing to come on and back clean up here for us. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I'm sure I talked over you way more than I should have.
It happens all the time on our podcast as well. I talk over people all the time.
So
it's fine. Thank you.
We love you guys, and I'm gonna get to say I will say my part and his part, and you can say mine this time. We'd just like to say peace.
Peace. Wait,
yeah.
what is?
I say out. Peace.
Oh, peace out.
Bye, guys.